I'll jump in.
Fucking sure. And so I gave it back to her. She pulled out $1 bill, a single dollar bill. That's how poor people are around here. They care about the single dollars, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she put it back in the bag. After that, I continued walking down the street picking up garbage. And then there was a lady in what I can only assume was a hospital gown that was sprawled out, laying on an actual bed of trash on a porch of one of these housing units. And I didn't think anything. I really didn't think anything about it at the time. But now that I look at back at it, I'm like, holy shit, that's kind of fucked.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I picked up while I was doing stuff, I found like a bike chain, a roof shingle, and then I found an unopened bottle of water, which I did drink. That shit was actually pretty sweet.
No shit.
After that, I went back to my room. I was already drunk, but then I drove to get more alcohol, and then just came back to the campus. And that's about.
What exactly is your position on guns? Because you say you don't like them, but in the other sense, you say this guy should have no input on our society whatsoever.
Yes, I think if someone has not used a gun before, if they don't have any context for what using or possessing a gun is like, they should not be able to have an input on this thing.
I mean, I think everybody
I
can
think
relate to people
training.
being shot and killed by guns. I mean, even from a third-person perspective, that's the biggest issue right here.
This
is a horrible example.
I agree.
Why is it a horrible example?
Because magic, it brings the idea.
Happen. How does this affect the analogy that I'm making?
It's still the obvious answer is it should be regulated. Like maybe you should.
I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you.
To school to learn the magic. Maybe we should make sure they're well off. They don't have nefarious means.
100%. All right. That's the main reason I'm making this list is because I would like to. I'm gonna read all of these in a video, every single name of them, and then try at some point to persuade people to hey, we have to figure something out about these guns. I don't think this is the right person to. I don't think this person specifically, this person from Sri Lanka that has never owned, seen, or touched or shot a firearm.
He's an American citizen.
He's a dual citizen. He grew up in Sri Lanka. All right, he came here to study from college.
That's 2 decades, dude.
Can I jump in for a second?
Absolutely.
What do you guys think about having fingerprint for triggers and stuff? So basically, as an adult, you could shoot your gun, but kids, your kid could steal it and go to school or whatever and do stupid shit like that. What do you kind of think of that regulation?
Fingerprint stuff is easily bypassable.
Is it?
For the gun community, they could
absolutely
mod away from that. Plus, it adds kind of an unnecessary production cost. And honestly, what I think should happen would be a higher tax on guns. Tax guns like fucking cigarettes, double the cost of it. 100% or a fucking high point costs $200. Well, make it cost $400. $200 goes to the government, and then that it slowly outprices guns from entering poverty communities, which you can argue do need them, but you can also look and see that they are the most destroyed by gun violence. I mean,
sure.
Gang warfare. Come on.
Nope.
I mean, I can attest to this. Yeah.
I mean, if you double an AR-15, you can buy one for $600. You can double the price on that, add taxes to it, make it cost $1,200. Now they're suddenly harder to get. One of the things that's the worst right now is, and also gun modding to make them fully auto is remarkably easy. Just look at the Glock switches. AR-15s have drop-in little 3D printed parts you can put on top of the receiver. Guys were trying to sell them to me at work. I didn't.
How would you enforce a law that prohibits that? How would you deal with a law that prohibits making printing? A gun easily modifiable?
Okay,
there's already laws on the record. Modifying a gun to make it full auto is a mandatory minimum 20 years. It's
I understand that, right? It's already illegal to modify a gun to make it full auto. I'm saying you're saying that these guns are easily moddable. How would you enforce a law that would make it illegal for a gun to be easily moddable?
That was in response to the fingerprint scanner to fire the gun.
Okay.
That's why someone would just defeat that. It would be easily defeated, and
that was my argument of there's already plenty of ways to beat a fingerprint scanner.
Yeah. All right.
And I think that kind of regulation would have a harder time passing than
You think
Like
you think people
I'm
would
sure you've
accept
seen
taxes?
Fucking Lawyer.
I said, do you think people would accept paying higher taxes? I mean, that's pretty hard to get masses of people to agree on that. I think.
Well,
I like the idea in general,
not infringing on anybody's rights. It's not infringing on anybody's rights, and it also
Nationally, I don't
helps the
see why
government.
not.
It brings them more tax money.
I mean, like I said, I agree with it, but like I said, just thinking about like trying to get 100 million people plus on that idea, seems kind of hard. I guess I don't know.
You really don't
fucking,
have
they did
to
it
have
with cigarettes.
100 million people plus. I think 22% of people is how much you need to win an election. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
if you're going like bare minimum
So-
statistically,
Well, yeah,
is 22% of people to win a U.S. election for president.
Okay.
I think it's the least invasive way of doing something about it.
Yeah, so I agree
I
with
mean-
that for sure.
Of course,
but-
what I said is like remarkable, like double the value of the gun. I would want to do that, yes, but of course the tax would probably start out like 20% and slowly
Yeah,
grow.
it might be like a 5% increase for like 10 years straight or something ridiculous. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said,
Do
I
you
agree
think
with the
that-
idea for sure.
Do you think that the way to enforce this would be with the ATF? Do you think that the ATF oversteps their boundaries in cases that they shouldn't?
I think the ATF is actually pretty fucking useless in enforcing all of it. Like gun buyback programs don't fucking work.
No. I don't
Nobody's
think so
gonna go to the
Um,
police department and sell a gun for $100 that they could sell on the street for $400. It doesn't work.
for sure.
Someone sent me a DM.
I could be wrong. I do not know the
I have to
statistics
figure
on
out how to
that.
read this.
But I did.
I was me. I sent a dick pic.
Solid.
Yeah, it was pretty solid. It's a little flaccid. I'm dealing with a little bit of ED right now, but it's not bad.
Well, here's the thing. So I can see that it's a little bit flaccid, but it's already above average for what you'd expect for an erect.
It's
So
just
if
genetics, buddy. It's
if it
just
is-
that black cock.
you have a
So-
massive
I'm
penis.
You got
so
the
sorry.
black
Hold on,
filter
Okay.
on it?
Hold on.
This motherfucker, he's going 8 inches. I'd love to feel that inside of me.
What?
But moving on
Jesus
from there,
Christ.
Moving on up.
we're moving on. Where were we at? We were at guns. Guns are bad. Okay, and people that own guns are bad. Okay, and people that want to ban guns are good. Okay,
No, I think
I don't wanna
I
ban
think
them, just-
it's like I think it's a larger problem with American politics. It's very pronounced.
We just
with
never want to
guns,
solve it.
but
We
I
just
don't
kick the
think
can
guns.
down the road more. That's all we ever do is just kick it down the road. for
Yeah,
the
I don't
next
think
people, the next
guns are the
people.
problem themselves.
Well, the real problem.
That's what's throwing me off here is because from 2020 to 2024, there are almost as many incidents from 2010 to 2019 when it comes to
Yep. There's-
schools like
been-
universities
Yeah, there's
or
like
high schools.
70 to 80
I'm only
school shootings
recording
a
high
year now.
schools.
For the last like 3 years, like 70 to 80 school shootings a year compared to like 25 to 30 the last
Have you-
decade.
Have you looked at the TikTok videos of these gangsta kids, like bring your gun to school day, and these motherfuckers are pulling out like
Fucking retarded.
short barreled ARs from their waistbands? Like these kids got nicer shit than I got.
Well, even
Like, these
even a
little
pistol is enough to do. Like it. I don't think it matters if it's a AR or a pistol, right?
Just range, I suppose. Yeah.
I am not.
Yeah, I mean, it
I'm
really
not-
doesn't.
Yeah, sure.
AR-15s are actually not
Ranged.
used that much in mass shootings. Like,
I think the
can
reason
do
that
the most damage in one. I think we learned that from the Vegas shooting, but they're
It's just
Normally
the
it's
fad
There's
right
a
now.
lot of conspiracies going on with the Vegas shooting. I don't want to use the Vegas shooting as an example. I think Columbine would be a lot better of an example when it comes to schools, right? They use
Vegas would only
ARs.
be relevant for the AR-15 platform.
But did they use shot-off shotguns?
Well,
and shit
the
too,
thing
and
is that
Uzis?
they're still they did
They had
actually.
homemade bombs. Those guys were incredibly
he was
easy
super smart.
genius. He's probably like 170 IQ.
Yeah, he taught math at Harvard. That's
He's-
that's how good he was.
He's got like profound. I don't know. The problem with nihilism and it's talking to itself. Like once you're the smartest person you know, you can get to really dark places. You can do that when you're dumb too, but I think it's a range thing.
I was in a thing earlier where someone was talking about a guy who was like maybe in his teens, and he was technically Okay, people say logical sense. Just because something is logical doesn't mean it's correct.
Oh, I agree.
To be clear,
I was just talking shit.
The limitations of like
okay,
someone being like cogent in society and being extremely intelligent is such a fine line. So like,
Well, they
it
say
makes
it's a
sense
fine
when they're
line to
autistic. Like, they're really
genius and crazy. It's a fine
yeah.
line.
Well, no, I mean like, so like you have like
No, I'm just a fucking atheist, and that's absolutely terrifying. People don't understand what it's like not to believe in an afterlife.
an
It's
atheist.
fine to me.
yeah, no,
Cool.
Nietzsche.
Do you
I used to be
are
religious.
you
Good examples,
convicted in your
Nietzsche.
beliefs? Are you convicted in not being religious? Like, do you have a conviction for not believing in a god, or would you consider yourself more agnostic than atheist?
No, I'm a true atheist. Like,
A
I don't
true
believe
atheist.
Okay.
I don't
I
believe
am
that
too.
there's any higher power. I just don't worship him. You
Wait,
want
can
to
you
know what
repeat
death
that?
is really like?
Repeat that first part.
I'm a true atheist. I don't believe in any higher power whatsoever.
Okay.
So, like, my opinion of death, or my belief of death, is basically: do you remember the first 2 billion years before you were born? No, because you didn't exist.
In a sense, you do.
Death is
There's genetic coding in your body that's
true.
existed.
And don't get me wrong, I'm an atheist as well. I just
Less.
right. It's
Well, an
The
atheist
conviction
and
rate's
then-
like 80%, not 100%.
Well, like, an
It's
atheist
good to know what we
really,
don't know.
they really argue their point, and they look at cause and effect. I apologize. I am drinking right now, so I'm probably going to deteriorate.
So, do you think that there's no possible way for a god to exist, or
If
because
there
here's the
is
thing.
one, he doesn't give a fuck about us. He didn't send Jesus
How would
down
you
here
know?
to save us.
How would you know?
Correct.
How would I
Is
know?
It's okay. Do you agree that it's
I-
possible that there is one that exists outside of our purview?
There could be a deist god.
I do want to answer him first. If you look
Okay.
at the state of the world and all the horrible shit that's happening, like, we live in America, we are really, really lucky. I mean, compared to Afghanistan, I mean, women just lost the right to talk in public, 2 months ago? And I mean,
And they
the mass
still
rapes
believe in
in
God
India,
there.
they believe
They believe in
their version.
Allah, which is
It's
somehow
God.
technically
It's
different
God.
from.
They're all the same god.
It's also the different denominations, and I
Yeah,
mean,
of
Christianity.
course.
You got Baptist, Protestant, Methodist,
Jehovah's
Catholic.
Witnesses.
I mean, Jehovah's Witness. I mean, you got so many
Yeah.
offshoots of Christianity
Well,
alone.
would you consider a Catholic to be a Christian?
Yeah. I grew up Catholic.
All right. I see them
don't-
as
they
like two
don't.
different, like two incredibly different things. But
Why?
okay, that's
You guys
absolutely
don't
fine.
believe in Jesus.
No, they just.
I don't know
they
why.
believe in Mary. The Catholic big
Look-
thing is they believe in Mary is like special compared to most other
a
Catholics.
holy person.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it, versus just a normal person. That was Jesus's mom.
Okay.
That's the main big. That's the big
If
big
you-
difference.
All right.
So I'm in Lower Alabama, and
Yeah.
all the Christians down here, or all the people that love God and preach and praise God, are
Yeah.
They swear, they cheat on their wives, they do not follow
Correct.
the Bible whatsoever.
That's most of
one of the guys
Alabama. Yeah.
Most religious people in
Yeah.
general.
One of the guys I work with is like, he's the most adamant God-fearing Christian man. He is also a convicted fucking pedophile, and I've got the news article to prove it. So it's like,
Convicted pedophile. What?
Yeah,
Elaborate.
well, okay. He was buying child porn, and
Okay.
FBI agent caught him. So
Specifically buying it, or he was viewing it.
I
What'd
don't
you have
know,
to buy
'cause the
to
article
view it,
doesn't
kind of?
state.
'Cause here's no. All
He
right.
was either
I
buying or
myself have
trading,
seen
but
child
he-
porn on accidents twice at least.
Possession of child
Sorry
porn.
about that.
Possession
Okay.
and distribution of child porn. Okay. So he spent
Alright.
like 10 years in jail. And I know this because when I was 18 and 19, he was my boss at the time. And it's fucking hilarious because he disappeared off the map for 10 years. Of course, I was at the shipyard and the news spread like wildfire why this guy went to jail. But
Mhm.
this is 15 years later and we're under new management and he comes back as a contractor. He actually works for me now. So it's like, I know
like it.
your dirty little secret. He's at face value, which is, I guess, should be said of lots of pedophiles, that they genuinely, like, they're like Santa. They're like nice people, God fearing, all lovey dovey. But like, I
I've
know
never
this
heard
guy's
that before. That's what
your
facade.
child is more likely to be abducted at a church than a public park. Like, there's a lot of pedophilia in the Catholic Church that's covered up, and it's been all over the news. Everybody's seen it.
True.
No way. There's pedophilia in the Catholic Church.
No, not at all.
What are you Captain America? You woke up like 2010 and now you're like just hearing the news.
Yeah, no, it's still relevant, right?
That's why you go Orthodox. Yeah.
Anyways,
I mean,
what were we talking about?
we were talking about religion. You were kind of basing your point on the fact that there's bad religious people, but I would say there's bad religious people. There's also good atheists, but I mean it has nothing to do with religion.
I just think it comes out of the evidence.
No.
There's
I
evidence.
apologize. I did kind of segue into like bad religious people. That's not why. I'm saying there's so much bad stuff going on in the planet right now. And it's not just right now, historically. I mean, with wars and just like the genocides. I mean, we could look back to World War II, but like historically, back in the medieval times, I mean, they didn't just go to the country and take it over. They slaughtered all the women and children. Life expectancy was,
Yeah, I mean, life. I always like to remind people, like, life could be so profoundly worse. Profoundly worse. If you think life is bad now, like black people could still be enslaved. Like, it's sometimes I think about that shit. I'm like, what if?
I mean, they just got equal rights
so
60 years ago.
Like, holy fuck! Like, the world could be so fucked up right now.
Okay. Let me try to. I'll give a story. And like I said, I'm drinking, so I might fuck up. All right. So one of the stories that came out recently, I think in the last couple of years, that really like reinforced my beliefs of atheism was a single father raising his only son, died of a heart attack. His 2-year-old starved to death, and the news article was posted. It was fucking tragic. I mean, it made me want to cry. His 2-year-old starved to death in his fucking bloody pajamas, huddled up next to his dad. And this 2-year-old kid, you got to just put yourself in that kid's shoes. He's alive for 8-9 days. It takes a long time to starve, but pushing daddy that's now dead. His dad died of a heart attack in the same bed, and he's wandering around the house. He's trying to find something to eat. He's starving. He can't change his fucking diaper. Like it's fucking agonizing to think about. And what fucking God would allow something like that to happen in this world? How is that a divine plan?
So you haven't thought about this. Maybe it's because you're drinking.
You really haven't. But
If that's the argument you're making, you haven't thought about this enough to even like really get into it. So like,
yeah, no, there's plenty of explanations for this.
I'm pretty much an atheist too. So I mean, but my reasons.
So you could argue.
That's a terrible
You could argue.
argument.
There's arguments for this that just say like, yes, there is a God. He's not omniscient or omnipresent, right? He created the universe with a single roll of dice.
Yep.
And from there, everything that came out of it just existed.
That's the only God that might be true.
That's really the only one that might be true.
That goes against what I was taught as a Christian when I went to private school.
We're not arguing for Christianity.
Because I got him before you.
Are you arguing just for an agnostic? Like there could be something out there? Is that what it is?
He's saying like a deistic God.
Correct.
There could be. That's the only version of it that might be real.
There could,
either way.
That's why I said they can't posit anything that proves the existence of a God, right?
Yeah.
That deals with the unfalsifiable thing.
Yeah.
So the default should be people are atheist until proven otherwise. But it's not in this society, at least.
No,
Why would that be the default?
Because we don't have evidence.
No real evidence.
We don't have like existing evidence of a God. So we don't know what happened before the universe was created, right? So we have to say we don't know. All right, we assume it's some sort of physical thing that exists. Correct.
Yeah.
Now, but then at some point, we assume that the things that we created were created by us, and then so something else created us. At some point in our existence, that's what happened. That's the thought process I'm assuming of how that happened. And so we manifested this thing of a God, and it's pervaded so much that we've just dealt with it at this point.
Well, I mean, even your view of agnosticism.
It's different things. One of the things that I think is plausible, and I don't know if I still have the image to show it. Imagine an infinite circle of energy,
Mhm.
an infinite circle of energy, right? It just keeps flowing and flowing and flowing around itself.
Yep.
But from that, you see other things spawn from it, right? I talked to one of my neighbors. They're very much into psychedelics. They're in like their late 30s. They did a shit ton of psychedelics, and they do almost all the drugs that you can imagine. And me and them, they more or less came up with this together. It's possible that there's an infinite flowing circle of energy, and from that, a tiny, absolutely infinitesimal amount of energy spawns off of that, and that's the universe currently that we're experiencing. It's both unfalsifiable and unprovable.
You just
Sure.
explained the multiverse, bro.
Well, I was gonna
Very
say,
true.
you ever heard of white holes? You know, we got black holes, white holes. That's the theory of it, is that it spits out space time. So
It just
Maybe-
got disproven. It just got
Did it?
disproven. It's not a real thing.
is it?
Yeah.
What do you
Oh,
mean
black
it's been
holes-
disproven?
Yeah, I never heard
because
it
black
disproven.
holes actually they actually get rid of, after they're done sucking things in. Once like the black hole quote unquote dies, it actually releases all of the energy all the information, sorry, the energy that it consumed.
Where
do you
are
see
you referring
that?
to Hawking radiation? Where's this at?
'cause I never heard
I'm
that
in a
before.
game of League of Legends, so it's gonna be tough for me to find it for you. Give me about 15
Okay, can you give us like anything about what you're saying here? Any information at all?
Give me
I
a second.
see,
I will. I
I see
promise.
an article from
promise I will find it.
Colorado University saying that white holes can't be theoretically possible. I haven't read the article yet, but just
Black
quick search.
holes,
Okay, let
black
me look.
holes
Let me.
releasing
I'll have to pull up.
mass.
I think
Am I still streaming my screen? I am.
I can.
Okay.
I can see.
Yeah.
Hold on. I can share screen too if you want.
So, white holes.
No, it has
Yeah.
nothing to do with white holes. It has to do with black holes like giving off mass after they're done. Yeah.
So-
I'll find it.
I think that we have an obsession with trying to find an afterlife, and we have an obsession of trying to find anything that can justify us existing after we die. I think the whole world, including everybody revolts at the fact that they're going to be nothing when they die. They're going to cease to exist. You know,
It's a great
it's the
unknown.
uncomfortable truth, and your brain will like reel away when you start thinking about it. And I think that's ultimately the truth of the matter.
I think humans just don't want to know.
Can you
what
repeat
they
Okay.
that
can't
really
know.
quick?
Okay, so
Just such an unprofound conversation to have. Like, yeah, we die and nothing happens. Okay, cool.
well,
you
you die and you cease to exist. The
Yeah.
world carries on. You just have
But
no memory
you-
of it. Because
can
you
you-
can't
can you
remember it
repeat what
'cause
you
your
said
brain
before
still
that?
thinks it. I think the uncomfortable truth is we are looking for anything to try to justify an afterlife, to justify what happens after we die. You know, are we going to look on to see our offspring prosper and whatever? I think the uncomfortable reality is we cease all thoughts, we cease all memories, we stop existing or thinking entirely. That's an uncomfortable truth that nobody wants to believe it, and everybody reels away from that. So we try to think of, like the white holes and stuff like that. Anything to give us a little bit of hope that there's something for us after we die.
Well, no, the white holes is just
Oh.
because we don't understand like 90% of physics. So we're
Yeah,
actually
I
trying
it
to
was about
understand
the
a
before
good bit of
God
physics,
thing. That's
but
kind
yeah,
of
you-
barely
so
any
much-
physics.
That's what I brought that
There's
up
so
for.
much we don't understand. We don't understand the
how-
relationship between gravity and macro and micro physics. There's such
there's
a
a bunch of
dissonance
things,
between
dark
our
matter,
understanding.
fucking
We do
everything.
not understand physics. This is just not true.
We're getting there though.
We know
Oh,
how
wait.
we
We've
use
learned
it
a lot in
here,
the last
but
fucking, like,
we
do
know
7
cause
not
and effect, I
understand it.
guess you would say.
Yeah, I mean, but that's
we
like
understand how to
okay.
use physics, but not exactly why physics. Asking
The
question
relationships
why.
between things. Yeah, we need we need a lot of intermediaries to make a lot of the stuff we understand work. Like we don't understand gravity. We just don't. We literally just don't.
I feel like
We
we know
we
it.
just treat it like a
we do
thing.
have quite a few theories going on right now. We have string theory, we have loop quantum gravity, and then we have. I feel like there's a third one. I just don't know of it. Is there
Well,
not?
I'm not a physicist, so I really can't even begin to understand a lot of the things. But the way it was described to me is that like there are a lot of particles that we just kind of decided exist for like convenience, and some of them are real, and some of them might not be real. So
That's
we're
like
in
dark
this
matter shit.
endless circle
Well,
Yeah.
they find some of the theorized particles. I mean, they found the Higgs boson. What?
But that's
5
like
or
the
6 years
last.
ago?
They've like discovered, quote unquote, like 30 other particles since then, and we haven't actually found proof for most of them. I
It's a
can't remember
math
what
problem
was.
where you have to solve for X, and the technology for X is not around. You got to build a new super collider and smash some more atoms.
Yeah,
to make
everything's
another-
got to be bigger. Every measuring tool has to be bigger. It's an endless problem we're in right now. It's a very weird set of circumstances.
A step
So you
towards trying
see
to build
things like
morality.
like the entire book of Leviticus in the Bible. You have things like having flax or mixed garments within your clothes, right? That's not a justifiable thing when it comes to religion. That's not justifiable. Pork, however, is justifiable. You see things like it can cause trichinosis if it's undercooked,
Yep.
or ABCXYZ. So they just say, don't fucking eat this thing. But when you have things like flax seeds or how you can treat your slaves, I feel like that's not a justifiable thing.
So I don't continue hearing the music. Shit, I am getting really drunk. I should not be in this conversation, but
How drunk though? Because I went from like half a bottle of vodka to no vodka anymore. How do you feel
I'm
about being
about the
drunk?
same way. I'm a pint in because
One pint? That's not.
a pint is a half a bottle. Because
Yeah, but of what though?
Captain Morgan. Actually, no. I bought
I
Crown
don't know what Morgan is. Is that whiskey?
It's
It's
Canadian.
It's rum and it's
Yeah,
35%.
it's whiskey.
It's 35% booze.
No, but
Okay, I'm a little more drunk than you, but I still respect what your opinions on these things. I feel the need to ask though. Is there anyone here who's incredibly just incredibly autistic, peculiar, meticulous about finding things?
What do you mean
Like
finding
researching?
things?
Or like what?
So yes,
I mean, I'm down with
I have this article right here. I
Okay.
have this article right here. You can look at my screen. I cannot find the two that were killed within this article.
No?
Okay, so the law student themselves. Let me see. They are mentioned in here. Let me find it.
You said North Carolina?
I'm just gonna point out your website is spokesman.com.
Correct. Okay. Continue.
Is that a news website? I have never seen anything from them.
So this was in a Wikipedia article, which we all know is
Yeah. It's cited.
highly
and
vented.
Wikipedia is open source too, so it could also have bad citations.
Correct.
Reese,
What's up?
try to use perplexity.
Try to use what? Sorry.
Open DMs Discord.
Oh. Perplexity.
Yeah.
Answer engine that provides. It's an AI thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tell you what. I'm gonna try this.
Yeah, just Google.
I'm not going to necessarily respect the answer until I vet it myself. I think that's a fair thing to say, correct?
The use of AI until you try to find Fulia. Or what?
Okay, so I'm still streaming my screen.
I can't see your screen.
Where knowledge begins. I'm gonna do this. Tragic shooting in the University of North Carolina in January 26, 1995, which I think that fits.
If
I
it
can't
doesn't,
even
you
fucking
can
find
like
it.
re-ask. Yo, can you fucking
When a law
find
student
this?
opened fire, resulting in 2 fatalities and 2 injuries. This is correct. Wendell Williamson, which is the right person, shooting randomly with a semi-automatic M1 rifle. That's about right. Victims. The shooting claimed the lives of a student and a bicyclist. It doesn't show any of the names, actually.
What does the one next to it?
You can
Is that a
ask
source?
about
This is
names.
a source, which is the exact website that I was actually
Yeah.
looking at, which is
Are
Spokesman.
all of them that source?
No,
No,
you can
or-
go up.
actually,
go up.
You
yes.
I got the article up
Sources,
on my
FBI and
thing. If you want
A
to
study
read
of
it.
active shooter incidents in the U.S.
Stream your
Wait,
screen,
you're streaming it?
I thought I did.
Okay.
Hold on.
Let's see. Dank
It says stop-
sided.
Yeah,
Wonka
Dank-sided.
stream up.
Hold on.
I'm not streaming.
I thought I was.
I'm looking at something irrelevant, but my mom just sent me a
Close all of your
you
furry
close your
porn
streams.
tab.
For me? No.
You're gonna
Honestly,
see most.
I should probably start watching porn on my laptop. Let's see.
I mean, start watching
Maybe.
porn.
Yes, I can
PC
see
lost
you're
student
currently
opens
showing
fire.
Discord.
Huh?
Currently, you're showing Discord.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not showing you guys.
Yeah,
my
just
screen,
stream
it's not
your
showing?
screen.
Yeah, do your display instead of just the thing of
How do
Discord.
you display? Where is that?
Oh, you have it right now. You have it right now.
I have it right now. You can see it.
Yes, correct.
All right.
Yes.
That's the
he
article that you're
doesn't.
looking for.
No?
It says
No, he
lost
doesn't.
student opens fire on 2, kills 2, gunman shot.
No,
in the
no,
leg.
no.
No, that's not it. 1995.
We cannot see this.
Yeah, it's minimized. I mean, at least for me. Is it for you, Chris?
I cannot. His,
Now I'm
his
back
screen
to the
currently is
Discord.
still
It's
Discord.
minimized.
Because I clicked share screen.
So click to
Yeah.
minimize Discord,
Okay. Now it's full screen.
and
right?
it says stream pause. They've minimized their application. Okay, I need you to pull up Discord,
Okay.
and then just move the window out of the way.
All right, hold on.
Oh.
I'll move over here to this screen. Here you go. You good now?
I don't think. Yeah,
No.
it's stream only.
It's still showing full screen.
I know.
Can you second
press
button from the top
stop
right?
Wait, stream mode.
The middle button in the top right.
Okay.
Middle button, the top right.
Yeah, click that. Oh fuck!
Hold on, I can try to like. Oop. Hold the fuck on.
What
Got
the hell is
Discord
this
Inception
thing going on?
right now?
I mean, we're streaming only Discord app, and we're trying to make it work with while streaming only Discord. Not.
Well, I can show
streaming
you. Like, I could show you how. If I
can't-
did
don't-
my-
I don't know how to fucking
Okay,
do
just
this.
switch.
Display-
Okay, finally, switch to full screen. Switch to full screen. I mean, basically, just stop streaming and make a stream for your screen. You know?
Like, I have this. I could
Stop
pull up
streaming? Right.
Spotify.
yeah,
to
and
do
click like
Discord.
screen. You can select like a fucking
I
screen
see
stream.
share your screen.
know-
That's what I tried clicking last time.
Yeah, there's
Inception.
basically two tabs like applications and screens, and you click the fucking main screen, screen 1 or whatever you have.
Yeah, what do I got to do then? Oh wait.
Yeah,
I
just
found it, it's like
stream
maybe-
your screen
wait.
without capturing like a sole
this? There you
one
go.
application.
There, I
You
got
know? Yeah.
Okay, you see this? You still see the article?
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
cool.
hang on.
Here's the article from 1995, January 27th. I guess I can read
Does it give
Zoom
names?
in, zoom in a little bit.
I'm looking for the names of the victims. That's the only
Victims.
thing that I'm looking for.
Wendell Williams, third
Correct.
student, was charged with blah blah blah. Jason Howard, a doctoral candidate of microbiology, said he encountered the gunman. Okay, he's still alive. There's 2 police cars were
Fake
hit.
news.
The gunman hid in a doorway, then came, shot fire, said blah blah blah. Okay, in the process, Leon, a former Marine, was shot in the shoulder, said Brian Rathagen, owner of the bar. I'm guessing he's the only person I could see that died, or is the only victim name I could see.
That they specifically says that they died.
No, just a shot in the shoulder, and the guy's like, he's a hero and stuff.
Okay.
No, it doesn't say who died. It doesn't give any names.
I cannot find that. Right. This is from 1995. We should be able to find this. But I've also noticed this in, I believe it's 2015.
So
Let me see.
is
So in 2015, right, we have 3 different people that have specifically died. Wait, no. Yeah, we have one person that
So-
died. We don't know their name. In 2016, we have one person that died. We don't know their name. In 2017, we have one person that died. We don't know their name. What else? I feel like nothing in 2019.
you're going over a
Okay.
handful of students that you can't verify. Is that going to de-justify your entire argument? Like 5 people.
I'm not trying to make an argument. I want to give a full document of honor to these people that have died from this situation, from a school shooting.
He's trying to spite his
Why are
Sri
you trying
Lankan
to do that?
teacher.
Why are you saying that these people don't need to be honored?
They need to be honored, but they got thoughts and prayers. So why the fuck should we say anything? I'm sorry. That.
Okay, I'm
We-
gonna let you rephrase that.
Yes, please. I'm sorry. We have been through this song and dance so many fucking times that nobody
I think that
cares.
I
I feel like
correct.
Okay, I got the.
I'm going
I got
to.
your
I'm
people.
going to sit here. I'm going to read every
got
single
you.
name possible. I'm going to read every
You
single
ready?
name on this list.
I got you.
If there are other wait, you have the names of these people?
Yeah, I found it because
you have the names of the 2 people.
Yeah,
from
there
that
was
thing.
an article 20 years later. It's written. It says on January 95.
Wait.
What? It's a 20-year
Can
anniversary.
you
article.
DM me this link? Can you actually DM me this link?
Here you go. Hold on.
I am Grease.1047, I think. Yeah, Grease.1047 in the call. Like actually. I'll admit to you, it might not be in the video because I'm specifically trying to do high schools. It's like K through 12, but I genuinely think that this is incredibly worth mentioning.
Why are you pretending
I
like you're
think I
not
just
just
sent it to
doing
you.
this despite your Sri Lankan teacher? Why are we pretending? We know you
Well,
hate the guy.
No, yes, I do hate the guy. All right,
willing to listen to your Sri Lanka teacher's argument that no kid should be killed in the greatest country in the world.
But
Yet you think
can you send me
reading
the link?
names of all the
I
kids
did send
is
you the
going
link.
to
Did
change
you get a
anything?
message?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Like, I truly wish it would change something. I do, but it's not. Nobody's going to click on a YouTube
Well, it's a good
video.
Well,
it's a good research.
We're
project
talking
to
about
decide.
guns still.
Sort of.
I guess so.
Yeah,
Sure.
sure.
Well, I was gonna say, dealing with like the last shooting, whatever, right? Like, if one of your children has like mental problems or whatever the fuck, they kind of know that he's fucked up or whoever, right? It should be one of those times where we should be able to take the gun right away from maybe the parents of the house until that kid moves out. You know what I'm saying?
Red
Maybe-
flag laws? What?
Basically, yeah. You know, it's something we should
Oh
do,
my
but we never
God.
do. I know, right? Stupid things like that. We just never want to do it. I don't know why.
Holy fuck. Red flag laws. Who would have thunk it?
Right. I want to try and get this video. I would like to at least honor these people, even if it is even if it is in spite of this person that is my teacher. Do you not think that the act of it happening is still more important than the reason behind it?
I think just is the video going to be just you saying names? Is that it?
Obviously, I'm gonna have like an intro to these things, and then I'm gonna be reading the entire list. And then after this, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, this isn't an extensive list. There are some people that I could not find."
And I mean, there might be reasons why you can't find them. I mean, there's some states where victims are not, if they're underage, they're not reported.
Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 that I've omitted just from I think 20. It might have been 2015 or it might have been 2019. I have to admit because I don't know,
But
and it's genuinely
your Sri
it's
Lanka
sad.
school teacher was against, like, he says this shit shouldn't happen, and you're like, yeah, it shouldn't happen, but here's all these dead kids. What are you arguing, dude?
I'm not trying to. I don't think that I'm trying to make an argument here.
What's your point?
The point is I'm trying to show all of these names, right? No one remembers these people. These are human beings that exist that have been their lives have been taken from them, right? Their future has been taken from them. I'm not going to show this to the teacher. I'm going to post this and hope that maybe someone reads them and will remember Anjanique Wright. Maybe a single person will remember this person that has had their life taken from them too early to exist, too early to make something of themselves. That's what I'm trying to make here. It's really the only thing.
You try to find as many as you can.
I was thinking about it. I really was. So I do have one somewhere. It's somewhere in my history. I'll try and find it really quick.
I mean it, like,
no one really cares about this. You're right.
Nobody
a lot of
fucking
people don't
cares.
care about
That's
this.
the problem. That is the problem.
Right? I agree with you with that. I want to try and change at least 1 or at least 2 or at least 3 some amount of people's minds about this by going through every single easily recorded person that has been killed by these situations. And
I think
it
the
may
only
not
way-
be No, continue.
The only way to do that is unfortunately.
Extremes.
You have to hear the extremes.
I wish we could have a gun policy that said, hey, if we get below X amount of gun crime, everybody could own fully auto fucking machine guns. I wish we could have it like, a reward basis, like fucking yeah, that's not gonna happen. But I'm about to sign off, guys. I'm toasty. 900 kids' names. You're just gonna read them out on a teleprompter. I know nobody's gonna listen to that.
I do have
You're gonna
other
you
other
need to have a
ideas.
strong intro and a strong ending, but the middle, while you're spending 10-15 minutes reading these names, I'm a guy that works 50 fucking hours a week to try to support his family. I'm gonna skip through that or click on another video.
Absolutely.
My free time is very precious because I only got so many minutes of it. So I hate the TikTok fucking shit, like the fast food of entertainment.
I know it's retarded.
I mean, the best that I'll post is like on TikTok I might post that I have almost every victim of a school shooting event. Like that's the best that I can do.
You need that. You need a bunch of.
Bro. You got to put like Subway Surfer in the background or something.
No, you need the list. You need the
Really?
list scrolling in the background. You need pictures. You need everybody. You need a monologue over that. Then you need support videos.
Number
It's like,
7.
I don't
Burger
know how to
King
do these
front
things,
ladders.
right? I'm a college student. I'm doing this just in my free time because I
Great time to
wanted to
learn,
do
yeah.
this.
I learned how to make EVE Online PvP videos from watching YouTube. You can do anything.
You're fucking 19 years old. Holy fuck,
Yeah,
you,
dude.
you dick standing up to salute women.
And
my
like,
friend.
you guys
do
can see my
anything.
screen currently. I want to show you how much space that I have to record this. Currently, I have 40 gigabytes free to record, edit, and post this.
Gonna go
Holy
for it.
shit, how do I have 512 gigs on my laptop? That's a fucking lie.
Fuck, one video game is like 100 gigs now. That's fine.
Yeah, but the thing is, the only big video game I have is Cold War. Like, that's it. COD Cold War.
You still fucking play that?
That's it. Dude, I got that for like $40 on discount because I met a Canadian woman who played it, and I was like, shit, bro, I might get this to
You're
fuck
gonna
with this
get that green
Canadian
card.
woman. That's what
You're
I
gonna
do. Viewers, I don't fucking know. I'm gonna copy the link. Can one of you guys see if you can? I'm gonna post it in chat. Can one of you guys see if you can comment on it?
Okay, well, that's because you had responsibilities. That's okay. It is okay.
Yeah, right. Gingers don't count, so you have to negate for those guys.
I'm not like, I understand you're making a funny joke here. I'm not trying to make a joke here.
What did I just say?
I know you're being extremely serious.
Of something that didn't exist or that was in.
Jeez Louises. Trying to tell me he's gonna stay up all night when he's got things to do tomorrow.
And Democrats would like fewer guns on the streets.
Yeah, I don't mind your idea. Yeah, I don't mind your idea of fucking raising taxes like 4 or 5% every year.
Definitely use this information, but you have to format it right. Make the video, make you reading the names out as homage to all the victims of the shootings that shouldn't have died for bullshit. Make a support video, intro, all that stuff, bite-sized information everybody can listen to, everybody can understand. And you gotta understand, like, this is a fucking problem. The Americans have a fetishization with guns that is doing irreparable harm to families, and this is like the leading cause of death for children at this point. You used to worry about your kid fucking dying of fucking bullshit cancers and car wrecks. No, it's fucking guns.
Oh shit!
Gotta solve this problem.
Can you repeat? You said something about you want to. I want to make a video about homage to all the, and then I cut out because my internet here is shit.
I apologize, man. I'm way too toasted to do that, and I just got chewed out by the wife.
All right, that's fair. Wait, you have a wife? Wow. You can have
Yeah.
parasocial relationships and you're in a Destiny server?
I told you I had fucking kids too. Are you amazed?
Actually, yes, you were able to procreate, but you're still in a Destiny Discord server.
I
That's
know.
an accomplishment right there.
He just gave you the Darwin Award.
Okay, like I said, all right, I'm going to try to reiterate. Click the next video. It's your intro. This is what happens. You know, this is the problem. We have a fetishization of guns, and we need some things to solve it. You know, increase a gun tax, just like cigarettes across the board, price them out of the range of, you know,
I need
people
to
in.
like either record this or write this down so I can look at this later and realize what the fuck you're saying.
Yeah, why you should not be paying attention to me right now.
Well, no, because you
Well, you're
actually
making
have some
sense.
fairly good points. You're bringing up taxing guns. That's not a bad idea, especially when the ATF already does that.
It's not hurting anybody. It's not taking away anybody's rights. It's giving money to the government. It could also be used to enforce, like, hey,
How do I make a
you
new
want
one?
your concealed carry permit? Well, watch a video that's
fuck.
funded by your dollars going to buying guns.
Let's see. So, mass
This guy legislates. Jeez.
thing. Let's
No,
see.
this guy runs over problems in his head all day fucking long. That's what it is. Let me know when you're recording. I'll try to.
Oh, I can actually just start recording. That's an even better idea. Let me pull up let's see, game capture. Can I do Discord here? I can't. I have to do window. I could do window or window capture, Discord. All right. Go ahead. I guess you were talking about taxes.
The problem with America is we have a fetishization of guns. Everybody loves their guns more than they love anything else. And taking away guns is taking away their freedoms, taking away their rights, taking away, you know, their families and everything will be invaded by the government. But gun owners collectively have basically, with all the mass shootings and all the murder of children and all that, I mean, something has to be done. Something has to be done. And so, like, the least infringing thing you could do is a higher tax for guns, which would, you know, just like cigarettes, you know, double the price of them, or that's pretty severe, but, you know, 20% more. You would price these guns out of the range of gangs and people in poverty and whatnot. And yeah, you can always say there's underlying causes to crime, poverty, you know, race, religion, gang violence. But the biggest factor is there's fucking guns. It's gun violence. Come on. Increase the tax rate. Try to price these guns out. It doesn't infringe on anybody's rights. Everybody still has a right to own a gun, but there's now an incentive for the government to also make money off of it. And with that money they can make off the guns, you know, when you go for your concealed carry permit, you might have to go somewhere, sign your permit for the gun or your registration for the gun, sign it over to somebody else. People are against a gun registry, but you know, the Second Amendment says, you know, for a well-regulated militia, we don't really have militias, but we need to be well-regulated anyways.
Currently, we're not allowed to have a digital registry for firearms. It all has to be physical.
Yes, which is barbaric
Stupid.
and cripples the way people can try to find digital. There's no difference in the Constitution. There's nothing that separates a physical and a digital registry. It just makes everything more fucking complicated for the law enforcement officers to do their goddamn job. You're just really crippling them at this point. And I totally understand there's a big fucking warehouse with all case files that are physical, and you gotta pay someone to go somewhere to go to the shelf and X file number and pull it out to pull the background on somebody. That is fucking atrocious. We gotta do away with that. Make it a fucking PDF.
What do you think the taxes on guns are right now in America? Currently,
If I could buy a point, if I could
buy,
buy a high
let's,
point for
let's
$200,
if you bought a
not
pistol or
enough.
a revolver right now, what do you think the sales tax is right now?
I don't know. Tell me. I genuinely don't know.
It is literally 10%. It's really not much. I thought it would have been higher too. And then if you get a shotgun or anything besides a pistol or revolver, it's 11%.
Yeah,
So,
that's got to go way the fuck.
yeah,
up.
I'm agreeing.
Like,
I'm saying I
high
looked
points
it up.
for
I'm like, that's
$200?
nothing. Like literally, like You pay higher for cigarettes, gas, all that. $10 normally.
And people buy the shit out of but people buy the shit out of it. So tax the fuck out of guns. And you will see them getting ripped off the streets. And you will find a few anecdotal articles about some person somewhere didn't have money to buy her a gun from somebody that was like, but it's gonna save so many more lives. Like it's gonna the people that really want guns and can get them from anywhere. I told you guys earlier, like I bought all my guns secondhand. There is not a single fucking thing in the government that links all of my guns back to me. And you can just do this all over the place, at least in Alabama. It's got to be fixed.
Yeah. So where I live in Minnesota,
Right.
for cigarettes, cigarette tax is like 57% extra. That's crazy.
No,
All right. I appreciate your input. I'm either going to rephrase that in my own words or literally use your exact words for that, because that seems like a fairly good position to have about this thing.
All right, well, just clip me out so I don't sound so fucking drunk. Anyways, add me. I'm going to bed, dude.
Let's see. Profile, add friend. Sure.
Appreciate it, homie.
Have a good night, man.
Have a good one, bro.
Night, guys.
Have a good night. I will see you tomorrow Central Time.
Okay.
All right, man.
How do you guys feel about the water wars? You guys excited for that?
Could you elaborate on what the water wars are?
Oh, that's one where we're going to run out of fresh water, and it's going to. So a lot of countries that don't have the infrastructure to transfer salt water into fresh water
You
are
really
going to
think
I mean-
battle with one another, and then they're going to.
I don't
for
see
them,
that.
for us, it won't. But because we decided to take care of global order, we're going to have to get involved at some point in time. So
We have to get involved with other countries because they're fighting with other countries that have fresh water.
because they have fresh water, like
But
smaller.
we
well-
have enough fresh water to sustain ourselves.
Yeah, or we have the infrastructure to convert salt water into fresh water.
Are
I'm
there
not sure which
countries
is
that
gonna happen.
don't have the capacity to build nuclear reactors?
There's tons of. You know how expensive a nuclear reactor is to build? It's like $33 billion.
I mean, yeah, I feel like there are plenty of poor countries that could do at least a rudimentary nuclear reactor to create the electricity needed for a desalination plant.
I mean,
They don't have the technology for it, but I don't see how that would benefit the U.S. to get involved in these situations.
we've kind of donned the responsibility of making sure everybody doesn't kill each other. Of course, not everywhere. I mean, there's tons of countries we don't give a fuck about.
Yeah,
but
okay. I was about to say Africa and South America. I don't see us being like when it comes to Western things. Sure, right? You see Ukraine. You see things like NATO, which the U.S. is still a part of, or what is it? It's East Asia. Is that right? East Asia. You see things like the Philippines. You see things like Japan. But as far as like Africa or South America, I don't think we have much of a care in that because they don't have much to export besides like diamonds and lithium.
yeah, rare earth metals are going to be pretty valuable over the next couple of decades. So I mean, yeah, I mean, it depends. I really can't even look that far into the future on how much infrastructure is going to get built in like Eastern Africa and stuff. So I mean, I'm not sure how valuable those countries will be outside of like just a resource pump, but
Well, they've been a resource pump for a long time. That's
yeah,
why you
yeah,
have
no,
lithium
I
mines.
mean outside of that. I mean, like, yeah, we know that that's kind of their MO, but I mean, we found like deposits in other places. We found deposits even in like Midwest America that are like almost twice as big. So we're kind of losing interest in using them for, their
Sure,
New
infrastructure
Yorker
things will
shows.
change, but I don't think that I
You
don't know
think
what
America would get involved in water wars?
I don't think so. No, I think that we have enough to sustain ourselves, and we don't have enough of an interest in these other incredibly smaller countries to cause us to start this war, right? So Ukraine currently, like the Britain has enough of an interest, or like in Western Europe has enough of an interest in keeping Ukraine alive to support them in trying to fight this war. I don't think that with Africa we have enough of an interest, or like even any of our strong allies have enough of an interest in keeping a lot of the things in Africa alive for us to get involved in a war.
I sent you a link if you didn't see about water supply article to the guy that joined in. Wally.
I'll take a look at it.
I don't know.
Is it? Am I looking at this wrong?
Yeah.
You get it?
I'll take a look. No, I did not.
I have also not seen the link. Can you put it in general chat?
Where is general chat?
So are you on desktop?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you see like everyone in here talking right now? You can see like all the people.
Yep. I got everything. Yep.
Okay, on the top right, just below closing or creating a window, you'll see a chat bubble that says show chat.
Yep, I got you. All right, I got you.
That's where.
I got you, bro. There you go. There's an article from The Guardian about water supply. And they think that by 2030, we're going to be running out of water in a lot of these countries. We're not so bad. We're going to be at least 50% mass. But like you're talking about, like the African countries like Kuwait. Kuwait already uses 38% more water than what they need, or 38 times more water than what they already have there. There's a lot of these countries that are fucking Middle East, South Asia, North Africa that are, pretty much already overusing water already.
What do you mean by overusing water than what they have already?
Well, it says right
Is
here.
it just like they need it?
So I'll read it to you. Kuwait withdrew more than 38 times the fresh water readily available to it as in 2019. So they only have this much fresh water, and they need to use way more, and they are already using more than what they naturally have there.
They don't have. Yeah, you have to think about like.
So they're saying they're importing fresh water.
I would assume so.
Okay,
that probably would have happened. Same as like Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia uses 10 times the fresh water naturally available to it already.
Okay, I could make the argument of they just need to export more goods to support this, and if they don't, then they
I mean, if you look at this map,
collapse.
if you look at this map, like all of South America is pretty good. You know, we got all of Russia. So I mean, I don't think there's gonna be like a war or any like huge problem, but it is a problem. You know.
Well, it is in the Middle East, which is already going to be a problem in itself.
Yeah, because of the deserts and shit. Yeah, so like I was just saying that here's the actual information, and then
okay, I appreciate. I want to save this as a bookmark to look at later.
For sure, same here.
And then I might actually send this to my professor.
Got problems now. You wait till Israel's got to fucking deal with
water issues
with the Arabs going. You guys are importing all that water.
Countries use many more times the amount of fresh water that is readily available to them, is what it says here, and that's all of these deep red.
Yeah.
So a lot of these are already in deserts in sub-Saharan Africa.
For sure.
I don't see that as much of a this isn't very. How do I put this? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's
right.
It's not like a huge crisis. I mean, it could be, like the world has to help these countries out, obviously, or they got to build infrastructure. It is
surprising. I guess so. I think where's India here? India's right here. 75%. It's between 75 and 100. Wait, no.
No, I would go.
It's between 50 and 75%. Yeah. So that's fairly understandable, and then the U.S. is just below that. Is that 25 to 50%?
Yeah, same as China.
That sounds about normal.
It looks like Taiwan.
I don't see this as being normal. A huge issue.
I wouldn't say normal, just what the capacity, what they got. They got 0 to 100% water.
What you would expect to see from these.
Yeah.
right? Russia doesn't have a lot of people. They have a huge landmass, which means they have a
Fuck ton of water.
fairly large supply of
I mean, I'm kind of
even though
surprised.
most of
I'm kind
it's
of surprised
Arctic,
more of
but
Africa
it's
is not fucking more red or orange. You know, it's actually pretty good.
You have
Most
to
of
remember
Africa.
this is a scientific projection. This could change easily in the next 3 to 5 years. So
Well, this is
Well,
they think by 2030.
how easily though? Like how significant of a
Easily.
change would you see within 3 to 5 years?
it really depends on a lot of other factors. Like
Yeah.
this is
Do you see
we-
like you probably have a lot more time invested into this. Do you see a significant change in this map that they're projecting here
well you have to
within
think
3 to
about-
5
you have
years?
to think about. So the average temperature has gone up for the last 50 years. I think now this is one of the hottest summers in the world we've ever had.
Yep. Correct.
I don't know how many people died in India of just like overheating, but it was a lot of people. I think it was like 40 million people died, and I don't think this is getting any better. So I think
40
this is going to
million.
be. I'll have to look up how many people died because of overheating.
I'm going to say that
Overheating?
seems like an incredibly high estimate, but I'm gonna grant you this.
No, don't grant it. I'm
Because-
going to look at it.
No, I want to, and here's why: is because although yes, this thing I want to steel man your thing here, because yes, there are things like this. You also have things like solar cycles, which will affect like how much heat is produced by the sun and how much light is produced by the sun, which is how much the planet's absorbing. However, it's still like a very clear argument to make that humans have created enough CO2 to offset this significantly. And I've had a neighbor with me and him argue about this of like, oh shit, it's actually mostly just solar cycles. And I'm like, fuck no, we're creating so much more CO2 that we're going to probably extinct ourselves, or at least create
We're doing a
serious,
better job than we ever been doing.
significant.
But
Yeah,
your
we're
heat strokes.
doing a good
It's-
job.
yeah, but so the part like where we need to be versus where we're at is such a huge gap that I don't. What you're saying with that doesn't seem useful. Does that make sense?
No, I don't know what you mean by that. Because
So
I'm saying this is going to be a problem, and you're saying this is
Yes.
going to be a problem, but it's not going to be a problem.
I'm saying it's going to be a problem, right? But it's so much more significant of a problem than we're giving it credit for. So where we need to be with the conservation of energy and carbon capture and ABCXYZ of environmental things, where we need to be is so far away from where we are currently that it's like that one, I think it's called the Newsroom episode, where it's like, yeah, no, we're fucked. We're about 20 years back. We're about 20 years away from where we should have been, and we can't get back to it. If that makes sense at all.
Yeah, I mean, I would, I wouldn't say we can't get back.
Do you think that in order to get to where we need to be, we need to have significant advances
Oh yeah, absolutely.
in scientific, like carbon capture, in other scientific areas,
Actually,
for
it's hard
us to even be able to?
It's hard to say. That's probably the right answer. It's really hard to say. The best we know is that we should be actively controlling our output for the extent that we know we're having an impact, but we don't know. We actually don't know how bad it's going to get, and it could get really bad, or it might. You might just lose the polar bear. So we're gonna have to wait it out and see. Florida's going to be gone. I'm guessing that much is certain, but
I would think these things are like fairly extensively researched. You see
but
both-
it's not
you-
determined.
You see both the extremes and the minimums of this thing. So if we assume that today every single ice cap melted, we would see sea oceans rise by like 3 feet, maybe. That's still a significant amount of area.
We would all be dead.
If we look at the
would all-
exact extremes, we would see huge droughts. We would see huge infrastructure damage. You'd see things like the ozone layer still depleting, and then you see things like solar
Completely
flares, which would
change,
completely
yeah.
fuck us up.
we'd
And
be fucked. We would be fucked.
ABCXYZ.
If the worst case is the worst case. We are fucked.
Yeah.
You're right.
we
It
know
is.
that the answer is somewhere in the middle. We don't know where it is. We need to assume that we need to go towards the safer side of this damage that we've already caused. And we need to push towards an area that we know, okay, this is the lower limit of the damage that can happen. We want to minimize the amount of damage that can happen, but we're so far away from that we don't specifically know how much damage that we're going to cause today.
Yeah, so this is exactly what I just said.
Yeah.
With more words, we don't know, and we don't know if science can save us. So, depending on that, would be stupid. But they got jobs, we pay them money, so they better think of something. In the meantime, we could regulate policies that don't have Coca-Cola dumping like 30 gallons of who knows what to rivers, who knows where, and emitting like an insane amount of carbon without any kind of repercussions, really. I mean, in Canada, we have the carbon tax, but that's mostly on citizens, barely on the corporations.
Would you consider the carbon tax to be significantly beneficial?
It's a failed system, but I mean, I expect nothing less from Canada. We're fucking retarded. I mean,
I got a friend in Canada. They're a social worker. They try.
No, you're right. They try. It's depressing.
Where in Canada are you from, bro? I'm from Nova Scotia.
I'm from Ontario. So
fucking Ontario.
See the brunt end of it. But Nova Scotia's getting fucked too, to be honest.
I thought we ditched our carbon tax.
You guys are better off than Quebec. I'll say that.
Yeah, we have a carbon tax. It's mostly to the detriment of civilians and barely to the detriment of corporations. So you mostly just have pissed off individuals, and you have slightly annoyed corporations.
Can both of you agree? Fuck Quebec. Just to be clear.
No.
Yeah, fuck the Quebecois. 100%.
All right. So I'm actually I have you as a friend, right? Yeah. Okay. Fuck the Quebec. Just to be clear.
Fuck the francophones. Fuck
No.
Joey, why do you say no?
I'm not even Anglo. I'm not even francophone, but I fuck with. Well, I speak French, though I'm not natively French.
Well, you should say
that's most of Canada. What do you have an issue with, or what do you specifically like about the francophones?
I just know people from Quebec, and I'm cool with people from Quebec. Like, I feel like a lot of Anglophones are just fucking ignorant and go to Quebec and won't learn a lick of fucking French. Go there, speak English, they get pissed off. And when I say if you just say a few words in French, they'll fucking switch to English. Most of the time.
They're gonna. Well, okay. So I'm.
Do you think that there is a superiority complex that happens with francophones?
Not superiority.
No.
Offensive, but it is still it is treating you I'm okay. I've spoken French since I was 3 years old, so I don't have any problems when I go to Quebec, but I've seen people kind of get ridiculed, or not ridiculed, but kind of besmirched. People kind of laugh at them a little bit. So it's kind of funny, and the are based at the same time as being cringe as fuck. It's not like they're all bad, but
do you feel like Quebec, just historically, has gotten a lot of hate and a lot of kind of undue flack from Anglophones in Canada, and that would kind of alienate them?
They tried to succeed from Canada.
True, but it's not for no reason. It's not for no reason, though.
Do you think the reason was justified for them to try to succeed?
100%.
They're not special.
You think it was justified for Quebec to try and succeed from Canada?
Every province gets fucked by the federal government. This is just how Canada works. Quebec is such a whiny little bitch pretending they're special. We're getting.
But they got their rights, bro. They got their rights in the end.
Yeah, they did.
They fought for their rights, and they got their rights. So what? Are we going to complain?
No, it's based. No, it's got. Like I said, it's based at the same time. But
also, I'm not one. I should fact check this and make sure this is true. But there was a point where the wealth disparity on average between Anglophone Canadian and a Francophone Canadian was in the 60s and 70s was that of a white person in the U.S. and a black person in the U.S.
Because Quebec is a shithole. I don't know. People think Quebec is an 87% shithole farmland that's frozen over for 6 months of the year. You can't do shit there. There's nothing to do. No one lives there. There's no industry whatsoever. And then the other 13% is Quebec City and Montreal. Like that's
Yeah, but that's so many of our provinces, bro.
no, you're right. Like Canada is a shithole.
Hello.
Canada's a giant shithole. It's
Yeah. I'm just saying that like the Quebec the Quebecois, they wanted their language rights, they got their language rights, they
Yeah, it's
wanted
based.
like so I don't blame them. I don't have any hate towards the Quebecois. I think they did like they fucking scared the Canadian government into like giving them like their rights. So I don't have any problem with that. I think it's good.
I mean, but even if you like, if you talk like, you probably know about like the freedom fighter Quebecois who literally tried to like
the
have
FLQ.
yeah, they literally tried to coup their own like Quebecois government because like they have nonstop internal problems that they're always fighting. Like these people are just fucking ridiculous. Like I don't like the Quebecois, but it's mostly because like I try to be informed on their politics. I think that most other people don't like them because like cultural aspects that are like whatever, who cares? Like they want to keep French, cool. Who gives a fuck? Like let them keep French. Like what? Like literally, who cares? So they, I don't know. What else is bullshit though is that like you Americans, you send all your fucking immigrants to Canada. Now that's some bullshit and then they come to Montreal and we didn't we didn't get money, we didn't ask for this. It's ridiculous, and it's kind of Quebec's fault because they're just trying to bolster their population size and they're trying to get free trade labor with Lima. So fuck the Quebecois. I maintain this position. They are also based. I will continue to say this, but I don't like. They think they're like separate from Canada. They think they don't like have to really be involved, and
To a certain extent, they don't.
No, but they need to. Like, we need like listen. If they're not involved, we get either Trudeau or Poilievre. This is what we're going to expect from our leaders. So like, you got a giant voting base. You got a giant representation base. You guys need to be more involved. It's just cringe. Like this whole like we're French, but we live in Canada. It's like cool, bro. Like who asked? Like you gonna get on board or what? You're not.
Yeah,
the
but
natives.
also from the like the French perspective, it's like yeah, we got like treated like shit within Canada, and then we fucking like scared the Canadian government into like giving us our fucking rights, and then now Canadians are bitching about it.
Yeah, because some Canadians are pussies and they're intimidated by like I don't know, people giving a fuck. And they're like, why do you give a fuck? And that's my problem's not that Quebec gives a fuck.